Okay.
Damn it, Shannon.
Burgers.
Is Shannon a girl's
Wild
name?
Wing Burger.
Stop it, dude.
What is that the name? Wild Wing? It's a fucking Dota burger?
Shannon, let it go, dude. We can't do this.
Hold on, I need to look at this.
All right. Well, you investigate. We will admire
5
the game
seconds
one of
remaining.
Liquid versus Escape, lower bracket. This is Elimination, boys and girls.
Reserve
Do you
time.
think there's burger ASMR?
Please stop.
Oh,
Okay, I just made that up. That's a great name for a burger, the Wild Wing Burger.
Okay, you actually did make that up. That's great.
great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shannon.
You are truly a creative
I'm-
genius.
I'm delirious.
So anyway,
I really need that
Guys,
Starbucks guy.
this is the first time in a game one we've seen Ogre in the first banning couplet.
well, Liquid does
Wow.
pick a lot of ogre, so
Also, Warlock.
yeah. Wow. Are you sure? Warlock first time ban? I mean,
Dude, we have seen Warlock make it to second and third games a surprising amount. We've talked.
10
That's like been the
seconds
Except for
hero.
against
remaining.
complexity, I think.
Yeah, that's like the hero that we've talked about the most in terms of why is he
5
not getting
seconds
picked? It's because you
remaining.
can't match him with his stupid dipshit friends.
okay, that's a little harsh, but all right.
Remember the first time
Reserve
Pitlord was
time.
picked was the Radiance Octarine Mind Control.
Oh,
Are we
yes.
concerned about that?
It's
Could-
available,
Radiant team.
and they won
pick.
with it.
Did they?
We'll see. Well, that's the Mind Control hero. So.
Yep.
What do you mean? Did they? Yeah, they won. To the disgust of Purge, if you remember.
I do remember that. So, Mind Control, one of the best Darkseer players in the world. He's going to be probably picking that up and heading off to the off lane there.
This is pretty cool,
10
though. We're seeing
seconds
a big
remaining.
variety in heroes from like series to series in terms of what teams are prioritizing. We haven't even seen many like first pick Darkseers like this. He's
Yeah.
made it through a lot into like game 2, first round bans, stuff like that.
Looks like these two teams are taking it pretty serious. They're going for very, meta bans, picking their meta heroes that they're
Yeah.
good with. So,
No surprise here.
seconds
Lifestealer
remaining.
for the era. One of their faves.
5 seconds.
It'd be interesting
remaining.
to see what they pick for GH God, because from what I've seen, he doesn't really
Dire
pick
team
too many of those heroes that are like good with Darkseer. Like, might see like a Bounty or I guess a Ricky maybe, but for the most part, he'll probably be on like that position 5, and then we'll have Kuro onto
Radiant
the
team
more of the roaming heroes. So
Oh shit!
that's an
Oh!
Arc Warden though.
Whoa.
That's Lifestealer Slider, the best opener right now, I'd say.
Yeah, it is a pretty good opener, but we got an Arc Warden on Liquid now. We saw them roll out that Underlord last time. I guess they're going with
Dire
the other
team banned.
Captain
Well,
Strap band hero.
And I think Arc Warden might have been first banned in that other series.
Yeah.
Like I think that was
Yeah,
one
I
of the
think it
ones
was.
where Arc Warden was just taken
Radiant
out. So Liquid
team
never even really
banned.
had a chance to play it. Kinda
I'm really
curious how
surprised
they'll
they
set it
banned
up.
Under. I feel like Underlords would be great against Arc Warden, just in theory, right?
Why?
Because he split pushes and
Kills shit.
well, both split push and the mobility of they're both super mobile
10
since they're both gonna
seconds
have.
remaining.
Or Arc Warden's gonna have boots of travel and Pitlord has his ult. He can take his entire team too.
5
I just want to
seconds
see
remaining.
one team pick both Arc Warden and Underlord.
Yeah, it's the dream.
Reserve
No,
time.
that sounds like a sick draft right
I mean,
there.
that just sounds cool.
I mean, just
Come on.
throw in a Visage, throw in a Pugna, throw in a Troll Warlord to boot it out, and you've got a great team there.
There you go. All right. So anyway, Lifestealer and Slardar, it's a pretty terrifying combo already. We'll see
Yeah.
what they can roll out with in Escape. Liquid though. Ooh,
Dire team
I don't know. I
banned.
mean, Darkseer, Arc Warden. That's already getting a little risky here. That's pretty
That's-
greedy stuff.
It's really interesting that Escape banned Ricky, because like Lifestealer Slider Ricky is like the golden triangle of Dota right now, as far as I'm concerned. I feel if you get those 3 heroes, like unstoppable. Just scouting out with
People are
Ricky
still doing that.
and fast bumps. I mean, I saw it in like 4 SEA games today, and it was just
Boy, they're
ridiculous
behind
every
the
time.
times. Jeez.
I know, but why wouldn't you just do it? It's so good.
I mean,
I'm
I've
surprised
been
when
living in the
Escape
C
at
meta.
First pick, they ban it.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, Ricky, when we casted
10
the
seconds
Boston
remaining.
Major EU Games Trent, we saw Ricky like completely ignored.
5
Yeah, he was
seconds
dead
remaining.
hero.
I mean, he
It's
was
funny
banned
'cause,
like maybe once. I think we saw him picked once. That's it.
What was it?
22
Reserve
games.
time.
During Manila, who was it? Blitz and Liquid, since Blitz was the coach. They attributed the Ricky resurgence, the Ricky Lifestealer, combo
Dire
to
team
us,
pick.
aka
Yeah.
Misery. But what they don't
Radiant
know is that we
team
stole
pick.
it from Vici Gaming because they shit on us in a scrim. Just shit on us.
Sick.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Escape's loadout is looking pretty terrifying now. They got an Oracle as well. If you give Lifestealer any kind of extra life on top of that, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Impossible to kill.
10 seconds
And then
remaining.
a
Also-
Dazzle, the shitty version of any kind of support. So-
I as much as I
5
love Dazzle, I
seconds
will
remaining.
concede that he is kind of a shitty version of Oracle in a lot of ways. Oracle does the same sort of things that
Reserve
Dazzle
time.
does, but in a lot of cases just better. False Promise is a much more clutch save. Sets you up to do some other things. It's also nice to have, Fortune's End with Slardar. Maybe you can close some gaps,
Yep.
find some kills early on. There's some other cute little synergies there.
I don't know. I think Weave is one of the best ultimates in the game by far.
True.
Oh,
Although I
it's
think
so
False
good.
Promise might also be up there on the list of good ultimates.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You
It's
know?
okay. People build
it's-
entire
it's-
drafts
it's
around it, but
good.
it's all right, I guess.
No, that's exactly. Actually, you make a good point because you kind of have to build a draft around Oracle ult as opposed to Dazzle. You can just, it's always good,
Yes.
Then why don't people get Ags for Dazzle?
Because
If they
they're-
got farm, they would. I think Ags on Dazzle is actually very strong.
I think for Dazzle, he just has a high opportunity cost. There's so many other support items that he wants, like Force Staff, Glimmer Cape, mobility type stuff. Ags is a big investment for a little position 5. Man, what do you think, Syndra's going to farm up an Ags? Come on now.
Well,
Ags Oracle, Slacks, is that more your style?
no, I don't. Doesn't that just do more?
It reduces the cooldown of Purifying Flames by half.
Yeah, so you just
Yeah.
spam Purifying Flames? I really
right.
don't think
Well, but
anybody
It
wants
takes
to do
it
that.
down to
think,
like a 1 second cooldown,
Diet-
dude. So
I
you
know,
just-
I know.
It's not that bad. Like, because with your ult, instead of buffing the ult with the Ags, you're buffing the heal essentially, right?
Yeah.
Onto the ult, so it kind of buffs the ult.
Indeed. Well, yeah. I mean, it makes a massive amount of healing, so the target's probably going to live no matter what. But still, that's a lot of money to make sure that one guy lives once. Oh, no! He made it through the ban phase community, and Liquid's going to pick him right up. We've seen a Liquid
Oh, boy.
Timbersaw before,
Oh, boy.
and it is just a complete nightmare. Yeah.
Look at their two side lanes now. They have a Darkseer and a Timbersaw.
Yeah, that's...
So is
I
this
mean, we
a-
assume it's Arc Warden mid, I think.
10
Yeah.
Is this a
seconds
Kuro? Wait,
remaining.
GH God is playing
Dazzle, I
mid
think.
these days, right?
5
No,
seconds remaining.
Not in
He's
this
been playing the
lineup.
support.
I mean, is
You
it a
sure?
support
I
Arc
don't
Warden
think,
then?
No. Kuroki played support
Reserve
last
time.
time with Matumba
10
Man.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, but that's. Oh, I thought I was watching this morning, and I could have swore he was playing. Oh, maybe he was
5
playing Core
seconds,
Rubik, and I
5
just.
Well, I haven't
seconds,
watched him in any
5
other tournament because this is the only
5
tournament that
seconds.
matters.
Boy, Booga!
5 seconds.
As this
Booga.
freaking 5-second bug is still there, Buka.
I think
Good
it's.
God.
It's a hero-related thing where like GH God was playing Rubik support this morning while Kuro played the bounty. So, I guess it depends.
Well, the last pick coming out from Team Liquid here. Jesus. I mean, they need somebody who's not greedy.
Spirit
They need
Treant.
someone who doesn't need anything to get their job done.
Treant was actually
I was thinking a
pretty good
Spear
ban
Breaker.
Spirit Breaker, that is actually a great idea. Level 3, you can gank mid, and then you really don't need to do that. You don't need really anything. You just keep roaming around and setting shit up, but who's going to be able to react with that Spirit Breaker, though? I mean,
there. Night Stalker, dude.
you know?
Iron Shell Darkseer.
Run, Darkseer, run! Get close to him!
Ion Shell Night Stalker, dude. It's great for counter initiation on Slardar. You got a big beefy silence for Oracle.
Yeah.
He can run around kind of like Spirit Breaker, except he's not a stupid cow.
The biggest thing they're missing would be push, but they're also up against like Elder Titan and Slardar, Lifestealers, so, like any sort of a base siege is pretty super scary. Like they have Arc Warden, yeah, and I guess like maybe eventually you consider that push, but their other base hitters and building killers are Darkseer and Timbersaw, which as two cores is pretty god awful.
Yeah. I'm worried for Liquid. Do you guys think that this is a greedy draft, or you think they're going to be all right?
I mean, it kind of depends what this last pick is. I really like that Treant ban. Somebody that can help globally and still find some farm, like maximize efficiency in the jungle, get some stacks going.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about Arc Warden and how that plays
Whoa.
out. Well, there's
What?
push, but
Okay.
Yeah, but what
Support Dragon Knight?
is it?
position for Darkseer.
Like-
Where's
like
Arc
mine.
Warden going?
Oh.
I think it's mid Arc Warden. I
Yeah.
think that is almost guaranteed. But you could do a position 4 jungling Darkseer. He jungles pretty fast if left alone. And you could do a position 4 roaming Dragon Knight, but it is like as dumpster tier as it gets.
We saw the first time that was introduced, by the way, was at Captain's Draft, and it was horrible. Just horrible.
All right, and Escape's going to round it out with a nice Death Prophet, a little bit of push to maximize they got a lot of defense, they got a lot of push, they got a lot of killing.
You know,
Jesus, I don't understand Liquid's draft at all. I'm not a smart guy, but what
Slacks,
the fuck?
I thought Liquid had a pretty scary draft until we saw those final picks come out. I don't really understand the DK, and that DP is scary. Now you've got Escape. Well, you got the Natty Order. You got those Ghosties running around. You got Infest Bombs. You got Oracle to save people. You got little mini Ravages from the Ugly Slardar. Like, they've got a lot of
Jesus.
options, dude. This is some
Yeah.
nasty team fight. Silence as well from the DP. Like, they've got a lot of control.
False Promise with Death Prophet, and then all these guys too to take up their the attention. My God.
That's
All
true.
right, well, yeah, let's get some predictions out there. What are you thinking, boys?
I mean, it's pretty hard not to go with Escape. Look at that. Slider, Lifestealer. Like,
Yeah, but they
Then you
got
get Death Prophet.
Arc
I don't know
Warden,
how-
dude.
I just look at Liquid. I'm like, what is this? I don't know. I don't have enough faith in the Arc Warden yet.
I mean, maybe it'll all come to light once we see which players grab which heroes on the side of Liquid.
Sunsfan, which team would you give the Wild Wing Burger to on this match?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's up to you, buddy.
I think Escape is going to take it 2-0.
So who gets the burger?
That's the end of my sentence. What?
Who gets the burger then?
Cinderin.
Cinderin
Cinderin can truly appreciate that kind of cuisine.
It's true.
Very well.
He does like burgers. Steak is one of his favorite foods. Now, I just noticed something here, gents. Koikfa does not have a battle pass.
Oh no,
The only person in the
Koikfa
game
hates
Wow.
esports. Don't
That's
invite
small, I
him
see.
to the major. Don't invite him to TI.
literally killing esports.
You have destroyed esports. I don't buy the battle pass till I get invited to events either.
Is that how it works?
That's how it works. I don't support companies that don't support me. Okay?
Wow.
Remember that one, Dota Pit. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Is Matumbaman the highest MMR in the world right now?
I don't know.
He
He's
might be.
9-1,
It's
1-3
9-1.
now.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about
Because
right.
I
saw
know
a thread about
Miracle
it.
just stopped playing when he got 9K for a long time.
I mean, I would. I stopped playing when I got 5K.
Yeah, dude. Isn't there a point where you just don't want to grind any more shitty pubs? Like, at that level, isn't it you get very little when you win and you lose a lot when you lose? Because
I don't
you're-
know if you've heard Zyari, but pubs are great. last few days. There've been
yes,
many
what was
red
I
threads
thinking?
Thanking Valve.
Yeah,
So good.
that's all I see.
I like the new report system. One report and they're fucked. That's it.
Is that really they changed that?
They made the reports much more powerful, but you only have like one.
Oh.
So you just hold your fucking
So
finger.
if you're a well-known person and you don't do anything wrong, you're gonna get reported just
Yeah.
for fun, and you're gonna go to low priority.
I know. I love low pro. I'm into it.
I've never played low priority
It's
ever.
great.
Yeah, same.
I've never had to leave a Dota game.
It's a lot of fun. It's like being in a room with a bunch of criminals. It's fucking great. I love it.
I got sent a low prio game today from those replay casts. That was
Damn.
exciting. Yeah.
Oh wow.
There was a lot of flame at BM, and Alchemist actually bought a gem for his opponent's team because he was pissed off his Lena bought Shadowblade first item.
That's what I'm
and
talking
then
about.
he bought 2 rapiers and gave them the other team, and the guy still won.
Fucking
The rapiers beating Alchemist.
criminals, dude.
My
All
God.
right. Well, we should
Anyway,
pass it
let's
over
go.
to the casters. What do we got here, buddy?
All right. We've got Annie and Mr. Capitalist back again here to take it away for game number 1 of Liquid versus Escape.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the first game of the first series of the day here. It is going to be hype. We have got some Arc Warden action going on. Cap, how you feeling about these drafts? Cap? Help.
Oh, talking power granted. I can't believe I left Join Dota for this. Come on, guys. How do you guys just mute me in the channel again? Thanks, Yori. Thanks, appreciate it. Anyway, hi Annie. I heard you guys had a rough morning.
Not really a rough morning. We're all feeling quite chipper now. The caffeine is starting to kick in, but we are quite sleep deprived, so expect more nonsense than usual.
I mean, I already expect a lot of nonsense out of Moonduck. So you set the bar
Aw.
high. We'll see how much
Okay,
higher
will
we
you
can
guys
go.
shut up? This is my cast.
I'm excited to see this game because Escape and Liquid are probably two of the teams that I'm more interested to watch right now. First of all, Liquid has GH God, who is a god on the support role, and then you've got Escape Gaming, who I think are just a team to look out for in this season. Right? They didn't make it to TI, unfortunately, but I think maybe this year is their year where they can be a dominant European team.
All right, awesome. Definitely looking forward to watching this go down. Now, how are you feeling about this Arc Warden, man? It's going to be played by Kuroki. Are we going to see tons of roaming? Are we going to see mad kills? Are we going to see unfortunate feeds?
I I'm still trying to like make sense of this whole thing. The Arc Warden support is really good. This is a support pickup that was actually seen a decent amount in pubs before people started like just spamming him mid constantly every single time. He's really good with that flux at being a roamer, so he can be really impactful, but it seems like Escape already have a plan for him. Look at Yapzor go.
Oh, jeez.
He's just
Yapzor just
beating on
chasing him
Akuro.
down. He's got the brown boots advantage. He's under the tier 2. He's going to back off for now, but Arcor definitely gets a reminder that you don't fuck with Elder Titan level 1.
Yeah, you certainly don't. Oh, nor do you. You can't really mess around with Koifa either. Like it's a death prophet. You know, like if Arc Warden goes and challenges you, you're just gonna use a Spirit Siphon most likely, and you won't care about Flux too much. You'll just heal off the damage. So this is going to be a bit of a rough lane for Miracle, but then again, it's a Dragonite lane. Dragonite always just kind of survives his lane. You know, if like things are real bad, he'll go 2 levels of Dragon Blood. You know, if he's really feeling that harassment, but Dragonite pretty much always do decent in their lane.
Oh, look at Yapzor. He's still going up, just bopping onto the Dazzle. I mean, he's going to have a ton of fun. You just got to worry that Elder Titan really needs his levels. He's getting a lot of work done, just rotating around, keeping the supports occupied, but at some point he will need to go pick up his Echo Stomp, grab a point in natural order. So, hopefully he's able to just sit himself in lane or take some neutrals and get some experience that way.
I'm interested to see how Trixie does as well. Trixie is obviously one of those players who I think when you guys started talking about Trixie, it was like he was known for like feeding in the off lane. That was when the off lane was like considered the suicide lane.
Tactical feeds, have some respect.
Yeah.
Tactical.
No. I'm saying I agree with it. Like that, Trixie was like that was him. Like he fed down lane quite a bit, and it was just the nature of the off lane. I haven't seen him play a whole lot because, you know, Stark didn't really do that well, so I didn't watch a whole lot of their games. So I'm interested to see how he adjusts to this because he's got a 1v1 matchup, right? Like there's no suicide lane, there's no feeding in this situation. Like that's not an acceptable tactic anymore. So he's gotta pull out a 1v1 in a rather obnoxious lane. Being a melee up against Darkseer is never fun.
Yeah, I mean, Slardar, he's kind of got that little special skill here. We're seeing Crush have a lot of success, just like Sayuri called it, the mini Ravage, really low cooldown, and with so many melee heroes on Liquid, he should just be able to blink in and smash them all up. So hopefully Escape can capitalize on the back of that. Now we're going to see some decent levels go in the way of Era. Just hits his level 4 now at 3 minutes in. He's getting a lot of farm down here in the bot lane, but of course harassing down a Timbersaw is no easy feat.
Yeah, the Timbersaw is going to go completely uncontested now. The only way you could really, with this kind of lane, put a stop to him is try and just rush at him at level 1 or 2. But as soon as he gets to level 3 and has those levels of reactive armor, he just sits inside the creep wave and keeps his reactive armor maxed out. And honestly, GH God, like, there's nothing you can do as a support in this situation. Like he's not even needed. I think in some ways he's just here for the levels because there's certainly nothing Oracle Lifestealer could do to this hero. Syndra's just needs to pull as much as possible, and GH God just needs to try and stop those pulls. And it's just a battle of trying to starve out Syndran and Era in this kind of AFK farming lane that it's going to turn into.
Oh, over here near the top rune, Kuroki goes in trying to do something, just pops out a couple of spells there, hits the Flux onto the Titan and just backing off. So Arc Gordon doing all right. He's found his level 2. Koikfa going to be going in and draining. They are going to have the Echo Stomp coming in. Oh, gosh. There we go. It's going to be, oh, Kuroki. He's getting low. One more Crypt Swarm. One more hit will secure the first blood for Koikfa.
Unfortunately, the roaming Arc Warden not really having too much of an impact so far. Did Arc Warden win the game yesterday?
I believe he's 0-2 right now in terms of pick wins.
Man, Arc Warden's just not having a good time so far.
To be fair, neither are Liquid, but they can definitely turn this around.
Yeah, Liquid, I think they just had a really bad match versus Ad Fitum recently, even with the switch up. I mean, I'm sure there's still some adjustments. You know, Liquid didn't make it through to the first major, right? I think that's something, Arc Warden is 0-3, yeah, rough times.
Up top, Trixie, he's going in. He's trying to harass down Mind Control. Of course, Ion Shell's making his life a little bit difficult. All right, so Suns fan chipping in. Apparently, OG won with it.
Yeah, I was thinking I'm pretty sure they did win with it because they had a mid Orchids Arc Warden. Era is actually in a small bit of trouble.
Yeah, decent amount of harass going on to the Dazzle. He's now crawling around, but Matumba Man, he's got those 3 points in reactive armor. He is not feeling a lot of heat. They're going to bring in Cinder in. Can they do anything about this? They have the Fortune's End ready to go, but even then, can they really get that much damage done to the Timber Saw? They're just going to be going in, holding him in place, a little soft purge there, and it's just going to be Matumba Man still walking around. He's spent half this minute under this tier 1 tower, going in with the Timber Chain. Cinder and getting low. There's not much he can do. He goes for the Purifying Flames on himself. Is it going to be enough? One more Timber Chain could get the lockdown, but now Matumba Man slowed down by those open wounds. Thinking about going back in. Cinder and just juking around. Looks like with the rotation of Yapzor, they're going to give up the chase.
Man, I'm actually so surprised they're trying to contest this lane so hard. Like if I was Escape, I'd just be like, all right, dead lane. Like Timbersaw gets to do whatever he wants now, guys. Just leave it alone.
Oh, Trixie up top in some serious trouble. Arc Warden doing what he can, and now Trixie's fresh out of regen. Doesn't have any more charges in the magic stick, so he's either got to fly himself in some salves or go home because he is risky. And now down bottom, GH God just nuked down pretty easily by Cinder and Stomp just to triumphantly show off what went down. And now they might be trying to go on Matumba Man here. He doesn't have his support in the Dazzle, and they're going to see if they can do anything about it. But Matumba Man, again, just super tanky right now. He's got the Poor Man's Shield as well as the reactive armor stacked up.
Yeah, GH God, he should know now that the ward was placed out. He picked up counter wards, so yeah, that was pretty much his life, right? Like that, the cost of Escape using one ward in order to kill GH God. That's kind of an exchange that's okay, but not really that amazing. Dazzle's so low level, and wards are such a valuable resource that you don't want them to be cut off in that rotation phase that's going to happen as the laning phase breaks down. It's actually not that bad of an exchange for Liquid if you think about it that way.
Alright, so things are going pretty alright. I mean, none of the lanes are dealing too heavily with super harass, super rotations. Down bottom, we are going to have Miracle just asserting his dominance here, feeling safe. Mid lane, though, they might be trying to go in onto this DK. He already popped his Dragon form a while back, so he's just sitting back and dealing with the harass. He's almost out of regen, just has that magic wand to rely on, and it's going to be a little bit tougher with him now that Quakefa's going to be picking up the Exorcism most likely at level 8.
I like the fact that they're giving Kuro space at the top lane. Arc Warden is definitely a support that cannot afford to be starved. He needs his levels. He needs to be able to get to that Hand of Midas and such. So they're actually going to be rotating Mind Control bottom. Though they can try and put more pressure on the Lifestealer, kick him out of lane, and then they'll take the tower off of this.
Yeah, right now they're doing a pretty good job. We're going to see Era just crawling back, maybe looking for some neutral farm. Up top, Trixie's getting a lot done. In terms of last hits, he's definitely keeping up. Overall net worth looking good for him, but they've got to turn that into towers eventually, because Liquid are going to start to get a map advantage if Escape don't start pushing.
Yeah, the biggest thing is that Escape need to have that Blink Dagger for the strategy to really come together
Miracle.
as soon as possible.
He's going to get wrapped around upon. There's 3 heroes there. There is going to be a hasted Death Prophet, but nice little Dragon Tail going to stun her in place. Now Yapzor takes a Poison Touch. So the rotation in from GH God actually stops this in its tracks. 4 Radiant heroes rotate in and have nothing to do. Meanwhile, down bottom, Era now forced back from his tier 2 towers. Matumba Man is just fearless right here.
This is definitely going to be the roughest part of the game, I think, for Escape. The laning phase, the way they set up with Timbersaw and Darkseer, like these heroes naturally excel in the laning phase. This all breaks down once Trixie has his Blink Dagger, so they can't afford to really miss rotations.
Miracle
like
in
that.
some trouble here. Going to get drained down by the Spirit Siphon. A nice stomp does land, but of course Dazzle keeping everything nice and healthy. Little Dragon Tail thrown out. We'll keep DK alive. And up top, we're going to see Trixie going in deep. Has the help of Cinder, and there's going to be a TP out, but they've got the burst damage there. Oracle gets the kill on the Arc Warden. Now the wall popped out. They get the return kill on Slardar. So nice rotation in for Mind Control. And Arc Warden going to be doing some damage to Cinderin now, but I don't think they can actually turn this into a kill. I think Cinderin's going to be just fine. The aggression going to be focused towards the mid as we've now got a 2-on-2 situation. Quakefa going to be picking up that level 8 soon and most likely going to want to push with that new Exorcism.
Yeah, great rotation, but critical mistake at the same time by Cinderin not getting that Fate's Edict out nice and early on the Slardar. Took too much magic damage that he could have easily prevented and actually saved the Slardar's life. And again, that would have progressed the Blink Dagger. That's all important right now for Escape. Matumba Man's doing a really good job of just like pressuring that bottom lane. He's even taking the time to right-click a tower, which is something Timbersaws rarely do, but he's got a free lane. There's very little that can stop him unless it's massive rotations.
I was going to try to Timber Chain out here, just going for the TP, and they cannot stop it in time, even with Trixie there. Can't find the crush, so just going to be sitting back watching this Timbersaw really take control. You know, we don't see Timbersaws having this much of an impact this early on unless they're, you know, mid and godlike. But he's already got a point booster, already the Soul Ring, so the Bloodstone's going to be ridiculously well timed here.
Yeah, it certainly is. He should be able to pick up a relatively fast Bloodstone, but the question is going to be how that 15-minute part unfolds, where the Lifestealer and Slardar are kind of reigning king, and then you've got Elder Titan and Death Prophet being able to pressure lanes and push down towers as well. That'll really determine where this game goes, and if Escape can actually wrestle control back after a somewhat oppressive laning phase for them.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's going to come down to the Slardar Blink Dagger timing. It's going to be super crucial because all the cores on Liquid are going to be melee. So one really nice Blink Crush is absolutely going to set the pace for a successful team fight for Escape. But meanwhile, mid lane, Dragon Form DK easily cleans up the tower. There is a trade up top as Lifestealer is able to go ahead and grab the tower on the Dire side of the map. But I think Liquid are going to have to deal with this push eventually because Escape showing no signs of slowing down. They're going to pop the Exorcism here for the tier 2. And Era, although under farm, doesn't even have the armlet, still doing a decent amount of damage just slapping away at this. There we go. We'll see
Trixie. Oh god.
Oh,
Trixie almost dies at bottom.
He's going. He takes the poison touch. He's going to be able to get into the Roche pit in time. Goes for the TP. Are they going to be able to cancel it here? Pop it into the pit a little bit too late. Matumba Man not going to find that kill. Meanwhile, up top, the Arc Wardens have forced back the Escape squad. So, just going to be a little bit of casual harass traded onto that tier 2. Koikva, nice use of Exorcism. Maybe they'll find something in the mid lane here. DK might get surrounded upon Era going in. They've got the armlet completed on the DK, a double damage rune as well. That's not really something you want to mess with now, and the rest of Liquid are rotating in towards the mid lane.
I don't think they could have killed him, but Era definitely should have like raged and gotten off in open wounds. I think because Exorcism was fading, they wouldn't have enough damage, but they would have at least had a chance. Though Liquid would get a full rotation into mid lane. If Escape just dodged this, they've got a really good positional advantage with the Death Prophet sitting alone at top lane pushing that. As long as no one gets caught in the bottom lane, this is a win for Escape.
Yeah, I mean, they're feeling good right now. Let's check on their Blink Dagger timing. Slardar, he's getting closer and closer. Got almost 2k for himself. Meanwhile, up here in the top lane, there's going to be a scan. So Radiant know that Miracle's going to be crawling around. They're going to have to bring Koikva back. Koikva has that TP, but playing with fire here. Meanwhile, Arc Warden just drops the hammer onto Slardar, man. Use that double. Just dropped everything he got.
That is rough. It's like this strategy really can't come online because it's not just the Slardar's Blink Dagger, it's the Lifestealer's initiation off of the Slardar that is all dependent, right? So at least they might get a kill here on Miracle.
Stomp gonna be off the mark, and this armlet's making it difficult. They do get that little purge off. He's stuck in place, but look at the survivability right now. Oh god, the Purifying Flames actually help him out tremendously there. Cinderin unfortunately not able to do the nuke damage required to take him down, and now down bottom, this Fortify not gonna last forever, and Matumba Man still slapping away on this tier 2. It's getting rough here. He's almost got his Bloodstone completed.
And Trixie doesn't really have a place to farm here. Like, he shows up, amplifies damage, but he can't do anything by himself. He requires more rotations, which is where Cinderin comes in.
Alright, we'll see if there's going to be any sort of initiation down here as they rotate in the Elder Titan. He's found himself some decent levels. He's got his level 7, so he's got that Earth Splitter. He already popped it out in the last fight, but unfortunately not finding a whole lot of nice little Echo Stomp rotations, so just forced to walk around and see what he can get done. But it's really going to come down to the Slardar Blink, like you mentioned. It's going to be the Lifestealer initiation. It's going to be that Blink Crush, so that's when things should start to turn around for Escape. Trixie now found his way back up to 2,000 gold after that unfortunate death in the jungle from Arc Warden. Shouldn't be too much longer.
I'm beginning to think, though, that Liquid may be far ahead by the time those items come up. Because look at their cores. Like, some of them are almost like double the net worth of, like, Slardar. They're sitting around that 7k marker. We're going to have Bloodstone coming up. The Dragonite is super tanky. He's near unkillable. He goes for the efficiency of Dragonlance as well. So that just means he's going to be even harder to bring down alongside that armlet. And then other things like once Kuro gets his level 10 in, he'll have a level of magnetic field as well. And that'll make things even more difficult to try and pop some of these heroes with that evasion.
Yeah, our Lifestealer feeling a little bit underwhelming, of course. Hasn't really gotten off those infest ganks. Still working on his armlet. Now going to be flying out that finished armlet to himself. What's his next choice here? Because he's definitely not where he wants to be in terms of net worth. He's basically half of DK right now.
So I think Era, he's just got to go for. It kind of sucks, but you have an Elder Titan on your team to cut down armor. You can continue to do that with the Desolator build. You just have to keep that cheap mid-game damage. That's why some of these heroes, Lifestealer, PA, they've become so much more popular. Is in part thanks to items like that. Have just become like really cheap, efficient mid-game damage that allows you to do really well in team fights. And mid-game team fights are kind of like all about, like, that's the meta right now. So Escape, they have a chance. They're going to get a really good pick off on Dazzle. That'll kind of speed things along, but considering that was the Blink Dagger reveal, that wasn't like the best possible situation for Escape for sure. They need more than just pick off on a support here and there. They need to be able to get a core pick off and turn that into objectives. And right now, we're going to see another wasted exorcism coming out from Escape, unable to get anything done.
Yeah, this Timbersaw is really turning into an issue. He has no kill participation, but now that brand new Bloodstone, he spent his time all in the bottom lane. He's gotten 2 towers for his trouble now at 16 minutes in, and there's really no signs of him slowing down. He's already level 11. What do you do against a Timbersaw like this? Because of course, if you're Escape, you'd love to burn down the Bloodstone charges, but he just seems so tanky, and it's such an ambitious gank.
You have to you have to push out some lanes, back up, 5-man smoke, and try and avoid any aggressive vision that's laid down by Liquid. You just have to like commit everything you have to be able to kill him, because he's such a beast right now.
Trixie gonna be going in, but the Yules not gonna have to deal with that crush. Now Timber Chain forward, the silence off the mark from Quakefa. Quakefa getting so low right here. Oracle gonna be doing his best. Cinderin comes in, trying to go ahead, channels that Fortune's End onto Matumba Man. Is he gonna be able to go and get out of this? There is gonna be a Life Stealer inside Trixie. Meanwhile, the Earth Splitter doing some decent damage now. There's going to be a silence coming back out. Timbersaw gets low. They finally get the kill. Quakefa feeling great about that one. And they're looking for more. Another crush comes in onto the Arc Warden. And that's a killing spree out for Cinderin right now. All of a sudden, Escape get exactly what they need to put themselves back in this.
Yeah, that was big. It's a 2,000 gold swing. You didn't lose any objectives for it because you already lost them earlier in the game. So, hey, got to look at the upside. There's no tier 2 for them to take at the bottom lane. There's no tier 1 mid for them to claim either. So, they didn't really trade anything too dramatic for that kill. And they just, if they can kill Matumba Man again, bring those Bloodstone charges even lower.
That is just lovely timing if they can kill him. But Timber Chain away, the silence doesn't last long enough. And he's just going to go back to forcing out this lane. But, man, we were just talking about how good that Timber looks, and all it takes is 1 kill. He's down to 8 Bloodstone charges.
Yeah, I don't think they can afford to have Trixie be farming. He can't really show up on the map. They've got a support that does scale really well in Elder Titan. Yapsor should be kind of like the designated hero to push out lanes, and then Death Prophet's the other one. And they should just kind of always keep Slardar and Lifestealer off the map. The other problem they have right now is all the aggressive vision that's being laid down by Liquid that is going to read these rotations. I mean, look at the vision right now. If you just trade over to Liquid's vision alone, they have such good offensive vision. Yeah.
Yeah, Radiant, they're a little bit more defensive. They got one in their jungle at this little cross point. They got some towards the mid lane, but Roche Pit completely unscouted by either team right now. Is that surprising?
Liquid don't really have a team to do it. Unfortunately, they are a bit lacking when it comes to physical damage, so really it's going to be Escape who have the opportunity to do the first Roshan, but they very clearly do not have the map control to get into the Roche Pit just yet. If they do, it's going to be through a smoke, a 5-man smoke, in which case a ward wouldn't help you out anyway. You need really offensive wards to be able to see smokes, and that's what they have.
Mid lane, Quakefa goes in for the kill in the tower. The Fortify coming out just in time, and there will be a rotation from the Timbersaw. So unfortunately, another Exorcism not really able
kill on
to
Miracle.
get a ton done. Oh god, they're going in. Nice little stun there, but the Dragon Form comes out. He's got the armlet. He's tanky. They're turning this around. Oh, Cinderin's able to go through, get the ult off, so the Slardar has a little bit more time to fight, but I believe Trixie's still going down. Now there's going to be a TP out attempt coming in, but Cinderin does still drop, so unfortunately, that aggressive gank from Escape cost them 2 kills, and Liquid moved right on into the Roche Pit.
Yeah, you've got a big advantage. You kill 2 heroes right outside the Roshan Pit. You might as well go in, 5-man into the Roshan Pit, see if you can take it. It's going to take them some time because their only real good physical damage at this point is Miracle, but Magnetic Field will help out a little bit. Looks like Yapzor should be trying to scout this one out, but look what Mind Control is doing. He's trying to push back the most dangerous hero when it comes to Roche taking, the Elder Titan. Like, that guy is a menace. You never want to try and Roche against that guy. But so that's what Mind Control is doing. He's trying to push him back, make him feel a little bit scared that he's not able to get really good stomps and all.
Oh, speaking of good stomps, we could have something coming up. Unfortunately, just a couple seconds too late, and DK will still grab up the Aegis. Now Escape definitely feeling like they're on the back foot now. They've got to play defensive because Liquid are going to want to push with this. You've got an Aegis on a DK. He's level 14, could hit level 16 relatively soon, and that's going to be a level 3 Dragon form and 2 lives coming at you. And he's already relatively tanky now. Armlet, Dragon Lance, and the Hyperstone. That is not fun.
No, it's not. This is the problem, right? We said, okay, this Blink Dagger is all important for Escape. It's really what gets their whole entire strategy online. You get the Lifestealer inside of the Slaughter, you make an initiation, you get a pick off on one, or some sort of nice team fight initiation that gives you a numbers advantage, and then you use the Death Prophet ultimate to clean up the rest of the team fight and then push for objectives. But the problem was the laning phase went so poorly for Escape, and the Blink Dagger was delayed enough that Liquid were able to get such a massive net worth lead that now they can fight through any kind of these initiations. Like, you saw the way they went on Dragonite, and they had 3 heroes, beating on him solo for a good amount of time, and it actually wasn't even that close. Like, he easily survived.
Dude,
through
he's
all
got
of that,
stupid armor right now. Not even in dragon form. He's just got like 35 armor. That's too much. And that's not even with weave.
Armlet and Dragonlance are some of like the most efficient strength items out there when it comes to survivability. Like, just the raw stats of Dragonlance is really nice, even though they try to nerf it a little bit. And then obviously Armlet is when toggling it and even just having it the active form on.
Ooh.
It's amazing.
Smoke gank up top. They're really looking for something here. Looks like Mind Control might finally brought down. Oh, the blink away just in time. He's going to sit there in the trees. He doesn't have a TP, though. It's on cooldown, so he's just scurrying away for his life. Unfortunately, they've got some vision of him. And can they cut through the trees here? Slarder has a Quelling Blade. He's going to go in for another blink, and there we go. They dropped the Lifestealer Bomb. They finally find a kill. That took a little more effort than Escape were first intending. And meanwhile, down bottom, Matumba Man uses that opportunity to push into the tier 3s.
Yeah, they know it's so costly. Like, Escape, because of the large net worth lead on Liquid, Escape have to bring like 4 heroes at least to every single kill that they go for, which means that Liquid can just play this really efficient. Sit 1 core in each one of the lanes, and then have one of the defensive supports behind 2 of them, and just spread out the map and just pressure everything. And Escape, they gank 1 lane, and maybe you lose a core off of that, but your other 2 cores and your other support is going to get a lot out of this game, and they're pretty happy with going into I think going later on to this game. They've got a really good scaling support in Arc Warden. I think they're just waiting until they hit critical mass, which is going to be, I think, Dragonite AC plus, what is it, Timberstomp pickup? Looks like Yule Scepter.
Lifestealer? He's going to be in some trouble here. It looks like Escaper pushed in pretty far without any vision. Era taking them for a ride, so that means Quakefoot is able to escape, but Liquid, they're chasing him down. Meanwhile, mid lane, they're hunting for something. Arc Warden just going to go TP out, and they're not going to be able to go and catch up with it. So both teams kind of playing chicken with the other. Dazzle goes into this tree line here. TP's home, so nothing coming out just yet. I want to talk a little bit about this Darkseer here. We haven't talked really much about Mind Control's impact, but he's been doing very well in terms of net worth. Until just a couple of moments ago was 3rd on the chart. Already has Greaves and a Blink Dagger. This Darkseer got a lot of space in the beginning. Now, how's that going to change up his mid to late game?
Well, just having the Blink Dagger means that they have a form of big team fight initiation. That's really where the big, the separation comes, is that Darkseers, OK's Darkseers will have Guardian Greaves by now, and they're just a good sustain sort of measure. But the really great Darkseers, like Mind Control was able to get so much, he gets the Blink Dagger, and then all of a sudden gives you initiation, which they lacked before on Liquid, and that gives you high ground potential. If you have that kind of initiation, you have that kind of jump that gives you a really good vacuum wall, then all of a sudden high ground becomes a whole lot easier. So I think with this AC, unfortunately it's still not there for Miracle, even though he's had it for a little while. They should be able to pressure at least this tier 3.
Yeah, it's definitely doing some work here. The Armlet, he's just so gosh darn tanky. And right now, Escape just don't have a ton of burst. Even the Lifestealer Bomb isn't going to be doing enough to tear down that dragon. So Matumba Man just taking advantage, pushing in with the rest of his team. DK from the low ground with that Dragon Lance, sitting real far back, enjoying the safety bubble of Arc Warden, and that tier 3 just plummets now. They're going in onto Quakeva here. They get a decent Dragon Tail. They're turning things onto Cinderin. Earth Splitter comes in. They are able to find the kill on the Arc Warden. Now Darkseer running away with his life. He's going to be purged off there by Cinderin, but Vacuum Wall comes out from Mind Control. He's keeping a cool head and trying to turn this around. There's going to be the ulti onto the Oracle to try to keep everyone safe. Meanwhile, they are going to be getting a kill onto the Elder Titan. TP home from our Lifestealer. There's going to be more push coming into the tier 3s. You got an Exorcism rockin', but I don't think that's enough to save our Death Prophet here. She's going to go down now. No ulti. She's in the grave for a minute unless she wants to buy back. And these racks, oh, they are gone. Liquid are doing it.
Yeah, they certainly are. This is, I mean, fortunately for Escape, there's that tier 2 mid, so Liquid can't just wrap. It looks like they're going to try and wrap all the way down to bottom lane. They
I mean,
might
what's
as well,
to stop them?
right?
It's really just an
down.
Oracle and a Lifestealer that are standing in their way.
Yeah, they've got super tanky heroes, so they don't really care about the physical damage that's coming out from the
Lifestealer's
towers. So
just screwing off to the top lane. He can't deal with this right now. It's just Cinderin versus the world. And this tier 3, oh, it is obliterated.
man, their courier died. Miracle's gonna have not just the AC waiting for him, but he's also gonna have the Satanic like waiting for him. He's had these big ticket items, and they're still winning the fight without them.
Oh, we got a Lifestealer bomb coming in. Trixie maybe looking to go on cleanup duty, but the Blink Dagger not going to get him far enough away, and smoke up from Liquid. What are they trying to do here? Are they wrapping to mid, looking for a roast, just clean escape?
I think they were kind of hoping that Escape would push forward into that high ground area, and it's really easy for Dire to be able to take that fight around here. So if Escape tried to push forward, then they would just get trounced in that fight. Like Liquid would be spread out. They'd get the right initiation they would want. And then the game would be over. But that didn't happen. So whatever. It was like a 25% chance
smoke
for you to end
gank
the
up. They're
game.
gonna get the crush here. Arc Warden gonna get dropped down. Nice quick kill on Kuroki there. His little doppel hops into the safety bubble, but that is not gonna be enough. So nice quick kill there. Now back towards the mid. You got Matumba Man looking for the cleanup on the tier 2, but Quakeva gonna be chasing him out. I wanted to give some praise here to Kuroki on the Arc Warden. He's got that 30-minute mango that I love. Oh, here we go. Can they actually get the Timber Saw down here? That would be pretty detrimental to his Bloodstone charges. The Earth Splitter might just be enough, and they will get the kill. He gets the suicide off. So they aren't going to get the gold from that, but that means his Bloodstone ticks down a little bit more.
Yeah, that even though he doesn't like have a big kill bounty or anything, that still would have been a really nice kill to have, just because you're over 15,000 gold behind. The gold that you would have racked in for a kill like that would have been quite a large sum. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen, and Liquid are going to look so much scarier in the next push. I think Mind Control maybe goes for Shivas. They're going to have the Satanic up for Miracle, as well as the AC when the Courier is finally alive. And then Matumba Man can get a Lotus Orb. And then all three of their cores will have some sort of big-ticket armor item that will make it so Death Prophet does hardly nothing. And then the Natural Order from the Elder Titan is so much more ineffective.
Yeah, I mean, this Dazzle has literally nothing, but just being able to cast Weave in a team fight is going to be phenomenal. Now, I don't think I've seen a Dazzle this poor in a while. We are 30 minutes in, and sitting on Arcane Boots and a Wand.
Yeah, GH Khan playing the hard 5 position. Back when he was on Elab, he played the kind of 4 or 5.
Oh, there he goes.
depending on
He's
what the
bringing in
heroes
his goodies
were,
from the
but-
Courier. He's got stuff. All right.
But he was like well known to be like an extremely good support, and it was just a question of like what it was kind of like when you first heard about Excalibur, and then he obviously didn't do quite as well as people thought he would. But then like other pub stars' names started coming up there, like Weehaw, very well known. He was on BBC, and it was kind of like, when is that guy going to be on a really good tier 1 team? GH God seems to have his chance here on Liquid, who are not a tier 1 team obviously right now, but definitely have the star power to be so in the future.
Yeah, he's been really impactful now, and of course this 4-staff, the medallion, just bringing more armor into the fight. Meanwhile, there is going to be a trade up top. Era doing his best to chunk down this tier 2. He's going to have to get back to his base, though. His tier 3s are under siege. Stomp not going to connect onto this Dragon Knight, who's just tearing apart these structures. Once again, Arc Warden just doing what he can, pops out that magnetic field. No one's going to be going down here, and now Quakeva on the backlines has the Octarine core, but too scared to even pop into the ult and try to defend right now. Just going to be hopping back. Yapsar, he's got the Earth Splitter at the ready, but but getting an initiation on this team is so difficult because you got to follow up with so much burst damage that it seems like Escape might not have at this point. Now Yule's coming in onto the DK. This might be their window. They hop in. Lifestealer Bomb comes out onto the Timbersaw. He's going to Yule's himself. The back wall gets onto 3 heroes. Immediate blowing up with the Slardar. They're going to get everyone else as well. Koikva, he's going to get helped out here by Cinderin, but I don't think he's lasting through this. Good game is called out as Liquid take a swift game 1.
Very easy for them. I mean, you just saw like the giant net worth difference, and you were like, "There's no way. There's no way Escape could ever actually beat that kind of push that's coming in. They just have way too many items." So, really well played by Liquid. This was definitely a laning phase win for them. Like they just really pushed the envelope when it came to what they could do with this kind of laning phase setup. There were no heroes to challenge the Timbersaw, so he got total free farm. Just pressured that bottom lane to all hell. They had a Darkseer versus Slardar matchup where obviously the Darkseer is going to get a really good amount, and then the only unknown was going to be whether or not Miracle does pretty well in his mid lane, and he did. He actually didn't really get ganked. They just played it defensive enough to prevent him from going down from any rotations out from Escape, and that pretty much ensured them the game. Because then at that point in time, they were finally like tanky enough. They didn't care about the initiations from the Slardar. They also did a really good job of shutting down Trixie. Like they got a couple on ganks on him that delayed that Blink Dagger at very critical moments in the game. Like you get that Blink Dagger 2 minutes earlier, and the pickoffs become a lot easier. Maybe they kill, for example, that Dragonite. Like maybe they actually have the chance to be able to pop him without being able to invest all of their heroes into doing so. And then they get these sort of pickoffs that start turning into objectives, and the whole entire game could look quite differently if the laning phase just shifts a little bit more in Escape's favor.
Absolutely. Team Liquid read this one almost perfectly, but of course, we are in elimination mode. Game number 2 is going to have a quirky draft as all these heroes are now wiped clean out of the pool. We're going to see some interesting stuff. Let's kick it back to our panel after these messages.